Hey, what's up, guys? Pastor Luke here. Good morning, or I don't know whenever you're gonna look at this video, because we can look at it any time. But I hope this week, I know we've been talking a lot about not keeping your friends in the dark on Wednesday nights, and the importance of us being able to share the gospel with our friends. Just right behind me, everybody's in their growth groups right now. And things are kind of going on there, and people are learning about God and all kinds of stuff. And you know what? At the same time, while everyone's in here in their growth groups, there are people all out here in these neighborhoods, in your neighborhood, in your school, that right now are just hurting, and they don't know God. They're far away from Him. And I was reading in Romans chapter 1, and in verse 16, Paul he's talking about maybe telling the gospel to these people that live in Rome and other places as well. But here's what he says, which I think is really cool. He says this, he says, "I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God for the salvation of everyone who believes, first to the Jew and then to the Gentile." See, the power and the story of Jesus, what we call the gospel, is for everyone. And sometimes I wonder if we live like it's only for people who go here, instead of for everyone. And Paul says that he's not ashamed. He's not ashamed of the gospel. And I wonder, how many times do we not want to tell someone about Jesus because maybe we're either ashamed or embarrassed about what we believe, or what we may think what would happen to us if we begin to tell people what we believe. I want to encourage you this week, man. Highlight this verse in your Bible. Write it down. Read it over and over again. And ask yourself, am I ashamed of the gospel? Am I ashamed of the story of Jesus and how it has impacted my life? Because I tell you, there's people that sit next to you in your third hour biology class, right? Or your math class, or that are 2 lockers down from you, that need Jesus. And so I want to encourage you today, as you go out, right, and you're at your school, or you're on your sports team, or you're on Facebook, or wherever, just begin to look at your life and say, man, is my life one that is excited about Jesus, or is my life one that is really ashamed? Because what Paul says here, he says he's not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of salvation. And that's the good news, is that what we're talking about is the power of salvation to somebody else who may be far away from God. That you have the power that can begin to transform their life and begin to make them whole. And that power is Jesus. So, like he says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because it's the power of God for salvation for everyone who believes. 2 verses up, he talks about how he feels obligated to talk about the gospel. And I bet if we sit down and we think about it long enough, that we should begin to feel the same burden, because Jesus has done so much for us that was undeserving to us. It's only because of His grace, right, and His mercy and His sacrifice, and that we even know Him. So how could we not want to give that same chance to somebody else that was given to us? I hope this week you feel obligated and not ashamed to tell someone about the gospel. I hope that even if that first step is just inviting them to church, and I hope you take that week, and I hope that challenges you the way it challenges me. So, guys, just know that we love you, and hope you guys have a great week. And I encourage you, Romans 1:16. Actually, you should read Romans 1 verses 14 through 16, which would be even better. But hope you have a great week. Tell somebody about Jesus this week. Love you. Have a great week. Bye.